It is our Wash for Kids Radiothon here on 97.1 Wash FM, joined with Dr. Newman, the president and CEO of Children's National. Welcome. It's so great to see you virtually this year. Of course, it's a little bit different, but it's still great to see you catch up.
Well, it's great to see you all too. And, you know, it's a different kind of year, but I'm just so thankful that we're again together again and have a chance to talk about what's happening at Children's National.
Yes, Dr. Newman, tell us about this year at Children's National with the pandemic. What has changed from your day to day? What is it like for your staff and the children and, you know, all who visit Children's National over the past year?
Well, you know, obviously it's different and everybody's been watching the news and kind of has a sense of what's been going on. But one of the things that struck us from early on was there was a lot of information out there that maybe children weren't as affected by the virus. And what we've seen is that that really isn't true. And maybe they don't get quite as sick as adults, but we've had sick children in our hospital all year. And now as things are coming back, there's, 10 or 12 kids in the hospital right now, very sick. But generally they all get better. And that's because of the things we've learned, the terrific care, the testing, and our staff has just been so passionate, and they come to work every day putting their own health and their families on the line. The other thing that I think has been very sobering is that you hear a lot about the virus and the physical effects and the clinical effects. But one of the things that's really affecting children, and will probably stay with them and stay with our community for a long, long time, is the mental health and the behavioral health impacts of these kids being at home or not with their friends, or and just the pressure and the anxiety. And that's been had a big impact on us and our hospital, and we're tracking it carefully and trying to think of different ways to make sure that that doesn't affect those kids long term.
It has certainly been a challenge with my daughter, Eleanor. She's 6, and, you know, it's virtual end of kindergarten, virtual all of first grade, to be able to find, some sort of normalcy and some sort of opportunity for children to be children is difficult for me with a healthy child staying, at home. I can't even imagine what that's like for the kids in the hospital. Like, I guess there's less interaction as well. I didn't even think about that.
Well, we've observed that and worried about it, so we've kind of pumped up the having different things like art, music. We have 2 therapy dogs that we can bring around, but it is tough on families. Maybe they can't visit as much, or they can't be with the kids in the hospital. On the other hand, our staff has just been so attuned to that to make sure that we're lessening that impact. And the reaction of the community has been unbelievable. People sending in meals or sent for not only for the kids, but for our staff, to take care of our staff. And we really tried to focus on that so that our doctors, our nurses, frontline staff, they're feeling supported, because, they've got their own family to worry about. And then they come to the hospital. So what I love, it's been we felt like the community has just rallied and is really behind us. And this is another expression of this, what you all are doing to support our hospital with this radiothon. Every year it's more and more, and people just step up. And it's when you're the children's hospital in a community, to know that community is behind you like that, I can't tell you how exciting that is.
Thank you. Jenny, you had a question, didn't you?
Yeah, I've got a couple. Dr. Newman, can you share with our listeners how long you've been associated with Children's National?
Well, Jenny, I hate to give away because people then start calculating my age, but I came to Children's National as a young surgeon. I wanted to learn children's surgery, and that was 36 years ago.
Oh my
And,
goodness.
when I walked into the hospital, I felt like, wow, this really feels like family. I mean, I love the way the hospital fit into the community, and I've never lost that feeling. One of the things we're a little sad about is that this was or is our 150th birthday year, and we
Yeah.
were going to have a big birthday party and all that kind of stuff. It was last week. We had a like everybody else had to dial down the celebration, but we're going to have a big one next year when we can all be together.
We'll have a big belated party. I was going to ask you, my next question was, why are you so passionate about children's? But I think you just answered it when, you talked about it feels like family. It feels that way for all of us at WASH
Well,
who are involved in the radiothon.
yeah,
So
and the support that you give us. So when I was a surgeon, it was really weird because I'd been in other hospitals, and there, I never ever had to worry about whether a family had the resources to get the care they needed. That we could take care of them no matter what. That there was whether they had insurance or not, wherever they came from, the doctors and nurses could just focus on uh, providing the best care for families. And the kind of support you give us, this philanthropy, gives us the freedom to do that. So a doctor or a researcher or whatever, they can focus on just doing the best thing possible for the kids in our community. And now more and more people are coming from around the country and around the world because of the just world-class care, the cutting edge things that we're able to deliver.
well, it is our pleasure again this year to do what we can as a radio station to support you and all the staff at Children's, and of course the families and the children. Can you tell us, is there anything new for 2021 besides the belated birthday party? Is there anything coming up next year that you want to highlight?
Well, we've recruited just some superstar doctors that are a new chief of heart surgery. We've got a great program coming in terms of the brain and seizures. We're working hard on taking care of babies that are born with different conditions. So and to that end, we were ranked 4 years in a row now. Our neonatal intensive care unit has been ranked #1 in the country out of thousands of these units of newborn babies. To be ranked #1 by your peers is just incredible. So what makes me feel good is that I know that we're delivering, the tip-top best care. One of the big things, though, that's coming is a new campus for our research, and that's at the old Walter Reed Army Medical Center here in Washington. We've converted that first in the nation, a campus for innovation. So there'll be startup companies there, our own research, all focused on children. There's nothing quite like that. It's not far from the NIH, the FDA, which we've all been hearing about with the vaccine. And it's just going to open up next year. And it's just going to be something that is going to be so terrific for not only our own kids here, but across the country.
We can't wait to see that. Sabrina?
No, I just want to thank you from, all of us here at WASH for coming on again and for continuing to do the incredible work that you do. It's been such a challenging year. And, at this point, at the end of that year, it's, we're asking folks to donate so we can have these incredible resources at our fingertips and in our backyard here in DC. We're so fortunate to know that if and when, God forbid, you have the need for Children's National, you have such an armada of folks behind you ready to take care of you and your child and you as a family as well. And I think that, that's where donations go. And in a year like this, those donations are needed more than ever.
That's right, Sabrina. I mean, right now, there's 300 kids in our hospital. Only about 10 or 20 of those have COVID. So you think, well, there's 290 other children in the hospital, not to mention all of the thousands of visits that are happening today, or the emergency room that need care that's totally unrelated to COVID. And we do that year after year. When those people came together 150 years ago, right after the Civil War, it was just like you all, in a sense. There was community leaders that said, you know what, we're the nation's capital. We need a children's hospital. and we were the fourth that was built in the country. And some community leaders came forward and said, look, we don't want anybody to ever have to worry about whether they're going to get care or not. So they made the donations. The doctors volunteered their time, and it's been going on ever since. Now, I mean, now we pay the doctors, but so there are a few differences in that. But what hasn't changed is that the community, the leaders, and just the population recognizing the importance of taking care of our kids. They're our future, and making available the funds, the volunteer, whatever they can do to help us deliver on that.
Well, we thank you very much for joining us. And again, we'll be here next year as well and celebrating that big 150th birthday, but 151, that's a fun number too. So we'll celebrate together. Thank you
Yeah, the
so
older
much.
you get, the more you appreciate those birthdays. So I
Dr.
think
I'm
Newman,
sure the
thank
hospital
you.
feels the same way.
I think we're all going to get together, and we can't wait to be able to recognize all of the generosity and contributions with a whole new welcome area that WASH has been a part of for the last 5 or 6 years. So it's just we're great partners, and like I said before, it just feels like being part of a family. So thank you.
Yes. And we are honored and privileged and blessed to be part of that family. Thank you, Dr. Newman. I wish you, Sabrina and I both wish you a very happy holiday season. And again, just thank you for what you guys do there day in and day out, not just during a pandemic. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you for that. It's very meaningful, Jenny and Sabrina. This is a big week. There's so much hope now with the vaccine. I'm so excited about what we're going to be able to do next year. This is tough right now, but our being able to protect our first our staffs and then our patients and families. I just can't wait to be able to say we don't have to worry about this anymore.
Right on. Amen to that.
Absolutely.